Most people never build wealth, not because they aren't smart enough, not because they don't work hard enough, but because they follow the wrong rules. Today, I'm going to give you 5 rules the wealthiest people on the planet actually live by. And if you apply these, you will not recognize your life a year from now. Welcome to the Cody Hofhine Show, the place for entrepreneurs who want more clarity, more alignment, and more meaning in their business and in their lives. I'm Cody Hofhine, and each week I bring you lessons from my own journey and conversations with people who face the same struggles, challenges you're dealing with right now. And together we'll explore the habits, the mindset, and the decisions that create real success at work and at home. So let's get right into today's show. Rule number 1, invest in you before any other investment. Why? You've heard Warren Buffett say this. The best investment you can make is in yourself. You hear Oprah talk about it. You hear Tony Robbins, Robin Sharma, Jim Rohn, the greatest minds on the planet, different backgrounds, different industries, all agree on this one universal truth. Your skills, your mindset, your habits, these compound faster than any stock, business, or even any piece of real estate you could ever own. Because here's the reality. You can lose a job. It's happened. Maybe some of you were listening to this and you said, okay, yeah, that's happened to me before. It's happened to me before. You can lose a job. You can lose a business. You can lose a deal. But no one can ever take away the person you've built. The internal work always pays the highest dividends. And if you've been waiting for the right time to invest in yourself, this is it. Your future depends on it. So rule number 1, your best investment is investing in you. Rule number 2, your best ideas rarely happen inside the office. This one, my friends, changed my life in a very, very real, practical way. Think about the world's greatest creators. Steve Jobs. His meetings, he took walking meetings. They didn't meet in offices, they took walking meetings. Bill Gates, he created what's called Think Weeks. Richard Branson leaves the office to think on islands. He thinks on mountains, and he thinks on water while he's like, what's that called? The kite skiing where you're surfing behind the kite, right? Einstein said his breakthrough came while walking or playing the violin. Not staring at a desk, not looking at a desk, not sitting behind a desk. And I found the exact same thing to be true. One of the biggest breakthroughs in my business, it didn't happen in a strategy meeting. It happened at Lake Powell. For those of you that don't know what Lake Powell is, please Google it and do yourself a favor and find your way to get you and your family out there because it's the most beautiful place on earth. And I remember being out on the water, looking at this beautiful, massive houseboat, thinking, man, like, what do I've got to do? I'd love to have something like that someday. What do I need to do? What does something like this cost? And I remember talking to my business partner. I said, what does something like that cost? He's like, well, usually what you do with a houseboat that big, because guys, we're talking 8 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. They're massive, massive boats. They're beautiful. They're 3 stories. Some of them even have like a rooftop that you can land a helicopter on. Big, beautiful boats. And he's like, you own this with maybe 3, 4, 5 business like partners. And so you can have what's almost like a timeshare. Basically, you buy in it together so that you can shoulder the cost of what it takes to operate one of these boats. And at the time, it was impossible, right? It was way out of my reach. I didn't have the money for what he said a share or a part of an ownership of one of those boats would cost. But here's the magic. Distance away from the office. Being away from office, distance creates this perspective. And this perspective, it unlocks possibility. And the idea hit me. What if I hosted a real estate mastermind? At the time, we were building something pretty dang special in our business. It was thriving. It kept doing double what it was doing the year before, and it kept doing this year after year after year, where we'd go from 1 million to 2 to 4, and we just started growing this business, and we were thriving. And so I thought about it. What if I hosted a real estate mastermind on this houseboat? I came up with the idea. I remember like it was literally yesterday. I'm like, Wendy, we're driving home from Lake Powell. I'm like, pull out a notebook. That means I need to sell X amount of people, I need to charge X amount of dollars. If I could do that, get those people signed up and get that money in, that would allow me to buy ownership in one of these boats. Here's what happened. I pre-sold the event before I ever owned the boat. I bought the boat with the revenue that came from it. Fast forward, this is now the #1 real estate mastermind on Lake Powell, and it's been that way for 7 straight years. Now, What we do, fast forward today, we even host our top performing Joe Homebuyer franchisees. I don't know if I have that hat on. I do. I have that hat on today. We even host our top performing Joe Homebuyer franchise owners out there as well each and every year. None of those breakthroughs came from my office. They came because I changed my environment and let my mind breathe. And if I want bigger ideas, and if you want bigger ideas, bigger clarity, bigger creativity, you have to get out of the pattern. You got to get out of the building, get out of your office, step into spaces that inspire you. Your next breakthrough is probably waiting somewhere your routine can't reach. Break those routines. Go see something else, and you'll see that your mind starts to work in new ways to create new ideas. Rule number 3, you are the average of the 5. Now, what do I mean by that? Jim Rohn was right. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But what I want to expand is on this idea of the 5. It's not just the 5. Those 5, what they're saying is science is proving that it goes 3 layers deep. So what they're saying is your 5 that you're picking to hang out with, they have their 5. That's now 25. And those 25 have their 5. That's now 125. So when you choose your 5, you're actually choosing the 155 people who influence your thinking, your habits, your beliefs, and your money mindset. Ever had a friend say this? Think about this. You're sitting with your friend, you're talking, he says, well, my buddy told me the other day. Guess what? That buddy is now influencing you, whether you know it or not. And you're looking at your 5 and you're like, well, your buddy's not part of my 5, but yet you're hearing stories about this buddy that's part of your 5. You're hearing buddies of what they've told him. And that person, what they heard from their buddy that's not part of their 5. Harvard studies show that mindsets spread through social networks like ripples. Your friends' impact your goals, your confidence, and even your behavior. This is why community matters. And I'm a massive proponent of community. Joe Homebuyer, I think, is literally the #1 real estate community out there, 100%. A group of a bunch of winners, winner mindset, winner mentality, go-givers that help one another to grow and to maximize who they're becoming and what their business is going to do. This is why proximity is powerful. This is why being around big thinkers elevates you. And being around small thinkers, it's going to limit you. It's going to hose you in the long run. If you want a bigger life, upgrade your 5. If you want to grow, surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. As Robin Sharma always says, he says, your environment. This is something I learned. I was with him 4 days in Barcelona. And I will never forget this quote. I wrote it down and I've written it down many, many times. And I've probably shared this on many, many podcasts, but I'm going to share it again. Your environment is always stronger than your willpower. So when you think you can do this by yourself, man, there's a better way of doing it. Get and put yourself in better environments. And what I mean by a better environment, your environment is always stronger than your willpower. Put yourself and surround yourself with better people than you, people that are 5 or 10 years ahead of you, and watch what happens. So choose your environment intentionally. Rule number 4, invest in the best mentors. One of the biggest shortcuts to wealth, and I'm talking real wealth, it's mentorship. Not cheap mentorship, not convenient mentorship, not the person who charges the least, the best mentors. And the best mentors, they come with a price. People who are living in the destination you want to reach. People who are 5 to 10 years ahead of you. You are not paying for their time. I want to get this crystal clear. You're not paying for their time. You're paying for the decades they compressed into wisdom, right? You're paying for the value that you're going to receive, not their time. Right now, let me give you a perfect example. Right now, I pay $100,000. It's a 12-month commitment with my mentor, and I happily do it with this mentor. I happily stroke that check for $100,000. But right now, I pay $100,000. You ready for this? For 14 hours with my mentor over 12 months. What I get is 2 4-hour sessions in his office, and then a 1-hour call every other month. Crazy. You might be thinking this, wait. $100,000 for 14 hours. You're nuts. You're asking the wrong question. What's the value I'm getting for that $100,000? And what am I receiving during those 14 hours? You guys, within the first 3 months, I had already made my money back because the right mentor doesn't just give you knowledge. They give you speed. They give you clarity, confidence, trajectory. Cheap mentors, they cost you so much more because they slow you down. They give you the wrong blueprint. When you invest in the mentor who has the results you want, you're investing in acceleration, and the ROI is exponential. Rule number 5, what got you here won't get you there. This rule is a humbling one. It's so humbling because the version of you that created your current success is not the version that will unlock your next level. Like, give yourself a pat on the back for becoming who you are today, but keep working and keep learning and keep being humble that you're always going to be a lifelong learner. Because the person that you are today that got you the success you have now, it's not the same person you need to be to unlock that next level. You got to continue to become someone new, someone better. Marshall Goldsmith, look him up. He wrote an entire book about this. Bruce Lee, for those of you who like the Bruce Lees, he says the successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. You guys, focus requires humility. The humility to evolve, to stay curious, and to be coachable. You have to live with a white belt mentality. Always be a student. Always be growing. Always stay hungry, because the moment you think you've arrived, that's when you stop arriving. The habits that built today's results become the very ceiling that stops tomorrow's results if you cling to them. There is always a better. Always another level of effectiveness. Always another level of creativity, discipline, leadership, and mindset. Mastery is not a destination. It's a commitment. You've got to commit to learning each and every day and finding a better. What you have today might be your best, but there's always a better. And you need to have this commitment to becoming the person capable of holding the life you want. Now, in closing, let's recap these 5 rules. Number 1, invest in you before anything else. Number 2, your best ideas happen outside the office. Number 3, protect your inner circle. You're the average of the 5 closest individuals you spend the most time with. Number 4, invest in the best mentors. And number 5, stay humble, stay hungry, because what got you here won't get you there. If you follow these 5, wealth stops being a destination. It becomes a byproduct, a reflection of the person you're becoming. Because at the end of the day, you don't build wealth. And I want you to think through this. You don't build wealth. You build the person who is capable of wealth. Thank you so much for listening to today. And if this show brought value to you, I want you to share it with someone who needs this next level spark, this next level drive in their life to become someone better. And I'll see each one of you on our next episode.